Welcome to A New Eden. I'm Rachel, and this space is where we bring together tarot, astrology, Christ consciousness, the Bible, and Kabbalah to help us understand what we're moving through and how to work with the energy available to us from week to week. Here, we are building new earth, something real. Co-creating a new Eden. This is my first episode, and it is so nice to have you here. And just so you know from the beginning, this is a collective reading. So if you're feeling called to go deeper into how these energies are showing up specifically for you, I do offer one-on-one sessions, and we can always connect to see if that feels aligned for both of us. So before we get into this, I want to invite you to pause for a moment. Like, you can actually push pause for a second, take a breath. Come back into your body and just ground yourself. The more present we are, the more clearly we're able to feel what's actually for us. Let's check in and see what we have going on for the week of April 13th, 2026. And as always, this is a timeless message. So whenever this finds you, it's right on time, and there's something in it for you to reflect on. Of course, always use your discernment. This week carries a lot of energy. There is movement, finally. There is activation. There is a sense that something is ready to begin, and that's real. But at the same time, there's also a layer of subtle uncertainty. And the best way I can think of to describe this is fire and fog. This can feel like, I know I need to move, but also I don't fully have all the pieces yet. And this is where leadership comes from. Before we go deeper into the astrology, I want to say this is a language that I am learning. I am not an astrologer, but I'm lucky enough to be learning from some of the greatest astrologers out there. Sarah Boschko, Pam Gregory, and Molly McCord. I'll leave links to their work so that you can explore their brilliance too. And it is also important to note that when we're talking about astrology, each planet we speak of represents a function within us, and the sign that it's hanging out in shows us how that function is expressed. So right now we have planet after planet, racks on racks in Aries. So everything feels more immediate, more instinctive, more alive. And we are building toward that new moon in Aries. Aries is initiation. It is the part of us that says, I am starting the thing. Now layer that with Mars. Mars is how we go after what we want. It's our drive, our motivation, and the energy we use to take action. In Aries, that becomes super direct, activated, and ready. This is, I trust myself now enough to move. And if you're feeling particularly called to work with this Mars energy, to really understand how to channel that drive into building and creating something, you might want to check out the work of Sarah Boschko. Her Mastering Mars program is incredibly valuable if you're looking to go deeper into this energy in a grounded and intentional way. Okay, back to Mars. So Mars then connects with Neptune. Now, Neptune, think dreams, our intuition, our connection to something higher. Neptune is what we believe in. It's inspired movement. It's acting on a vision. It's beginning before everything is fully defined. So this is not energy to sit on, but it is also not energy to act on blindly. Now, bring in Mercury. Mercury is how we think, process, and communicate. So our minds become decisive and direct and ready to move. And underneath all of that is Saturn. Now, Saturn is how we build something lasting, something sustainable. It is our interdisciplinarian, our structure, and the lessons that foster all of that. This isn't just fire for movement. This is fire we can build with. This week is so powerful. All of these planets talking to each other in Aries gives us the courage to begin, the energy to move, the intuition to guide us, and the structure to build something real. This is a gift. Now, it is important to note that fire energy is so available to us right now. And what do we know about fire? We know that it can bend metal and build and create and move swiftly. And it can also burn things down. It can also destroy if we are not conscious of what we are doing with it. So it is important this week that we choose wisely, because both chaotic fire and creative fire are available to us this week. Let's get into the tarot now for this week. The cards that came through are the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups reversed. And when we look at all of these cards together as a whole, this is the energy of a week where we are holding a lot. There is movement. There are multiple things asking for our attention. We are juggling. And at the same time, there's mental pressure. Overthinking, overanalyzing, worst case scenarios, trying to get it right before we even move. But the guidance here is super clear. We're not meant to solve this week by pushing harder. We're meant to pause just enough, ground ourselves, and then move forward with intention, because there is stability available to us. There is something solid we can build from, but we access that by slowing down internally, but not stopping completely. And then from that place, we move like the Knight of Pentacles. We move steady, consistent, intentional. We are not rushed. And emotionally, this is a week of release, letting go of what didn't work, what we thought things would be like, what we thought things would look like, where letting go of where our energy has been stuck, so we can actually move forward with what is available. So the cards, they're not telling us to stop. They're telling us ground the energy and then move with it. So we have energy pushing us forward and wisdom asking us to ground it. And this is exactly what the story of Elijah shows us. So Elijah was a prophet who had just come off of a huge moment, a powerful, spiritual, public victory where everything showed up exactly the way it was supposed to. It was so great. And after that, he crashes. He gets overwhelmed, just exhausted and afraid, and he goes from certainty to not knowing what to do next. And he retreats and takes off and goes to a mountain. And in that moment when he needed clarity the most, what he was met with at this mountain was the wind, an earthquake, and fire. So these things aren't negative. They're very powerful, but they're not where clarity lives. They are not where he can hear God. There was no God coming through loud and clear for Elijah in those moments. And how that might show up for us in our lives and our experiences might be the wind being other people's opinions, like information overload and doom scrolling and feeling pulled in different directions. Like everyone around us is loud and speaking, and we can't hear ourselves clearly. Like we can't hear God in that. And he is met with an earthquake. So an earthquake is things shifting, like uncertainty, not feeling fully grounded, not even trusting the ground that is underneath your feet. So that is our external world feeling so unsteady. And the fire is the activation, being triggered, the urgency, the wanting to act and react, wanting to act quickly, feeling lit up, but not fully anchored. Like energy is high, but it's not, fully directed. So these aren't wrong energies. They're just not the space where we're meant to make decisions from. And it is not where Elijah could hear God. God spoke to Elijah in the stillness, because stillness is where direction comes from. In Kabbalah, we talk about becoming a vessel for the light of the Creator, and we become that by pausing and choosing certainty beyond logic, trusting that what is happening for us. Because power isn't in reacting to energy, it's in holding that energy long enough to direct it. So this week, let's not sit on the energy or ignore the pull, but let's also not react to every urge and not chase every feeling. Let's move and move with direction and start things and begin with alignment. So this week, I really want you to pause and ask yourself, is this coming from alignment or just activation? Am I being triggered? And remember that it is a gift, and then proceed. And if you want something to anchor into this week, you can come back to this mantra. I hold my power with intention. I move when I am aligned. This is fire and fog, and your power is in how you use it. I am so excited for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please let me know what incredible things you are building. I want to hear all of it. Thank you so much. I love you all. Have a beautiful and blessed week.